Alrighty, everyone. Hello, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of Comrade Cryptid's playthrough of Kona. So let's see, where we last left off, it's a very noisy storm outside. All the motorized things make a lot of noise. Our employer is dead. And weird blocks of ice seem to just materialize out of nowhere. We'll keep it. We'll keep all of our pictures. Who knows what I'm gonna go check the cabin out here, the garage. Aha. See if there's anything interesting in here. Anything we missed? No, not you. You. Nope. Nope. Ooh.
The crowbar was stuck under the lift.
The crowbar.
Notwithstanding Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet.
But there might be. Yes, indeed. At least we know it's fragile. Aha! Cardiac.
At long last, the crowbar was within Carl's grasp. Surely it would come in handy at some point.
Oh, I'm sure. Beating off wolves or something. You know, beating them off. Alright. Windy AF. Anything? Nope. Nothing in the garbage. Could light a fire, but don't need to. Do not like how the wolf tracks just seem to disappear, you know? They don't like go back that way. I never saw them. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. It's all weird. It's kind of the point though, isn't it? Alright. Okie dokie.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Okay.
Jumping from that height was akin to tempting death.
Indeed it
Perhaps
was.
that man on the snowmobile had seen enough of this world already.
Perhaps he had.
A nice picture of the Magasin Lachance store, seemingly taken the day it was first opened. It feels frozen in time, from an era long forgotten.
Indeed.
Amateur hunters showing some pride at having killed a nice pelted beast.
Indeed.
With men like this roaming the area, wolves would become extinct within 10 years, Carl thought.
Indeed. Ooh. Alright. Didn't even travel half. Indeed. We're not even actually that far north, apparently. Like we totally are. Yes, the place is a mess. False flag. Seriously? Alright, anything on you? Nope. So, let's see. Let's look at the map, eh? So, we's at the general store right here. Old Rosaire, the Malt, Brewing, the Doctor, La Chance, Bernard, cabin. Okay, back there's the rest stop. There's the cabin. Roy, Bernard. Alright. Let's see. We're gonna have to look in our journal. So we are investigating case of vandalism. Some stuff in French. My French is not that good. He's been murdered. Check the Hamilton Lodge. History. Alright. An accident. Haven't been this shaken up since Korea. Who was the driver? Whoever they were, they don't have a snowball's chance in hell if they intended to continue on foot. Besides, why did they leave so suddenly? Nice bit of poetry in the back of a beautiful face. The reckless driver was also a melancholic. On a box, surely. Find some clue as to who thought the reckless driver was. Still need the key though. So, let's see. Look into Hamilton's murder. Let's see. Oh, shit. Nope. So, the envelope, Secret Service, getting rid of the murder weapon, putting it in the mailbox. You know, would have paid to see the postman's face when he found that thing, though. Yeah, that would have been funny. Secret Service, there's a key inside. Killer must not have known it was there, or they would have taken it. I'm a step ahead of them. Trace back chain of events. Hamilton wants to send a very confidential denunciation letter to the Secret Service in Ottawa. He was planning on sending letter inside of a locked box and then to send the key separately. It's cumbersome, but he's doing what he can. Something throws him off while he's in a hurry. He locked everything and mails the key, but the box somehow ends up in his killer's hands. When you find death threats and the person threatened is found dead, one could say the case solves itself. Only a shame the note isn't signed. Well, let's see. Hamilton, Carl there. Okay. So, Gilles Lachance went to the doctors. Now I need to know if the doctor saw Gilles. I know how to lead. Investigation. So yeah, we're gonna go. I guess we'll go see the doctor. See if the doctor has seen Gilles or not. If we can. Right. So the doctor take the fork left, and it should be the first house on the left. Otherwise, La Chance is behind us. Okay. Off we go. Off we go.
The pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store.
Alright, so let's go see.
Carl was beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The seeker had sought.
Let's go see if we can find this doctor down the road here. God, this is some shit weather, isn't it? And we're loading. And we're loading. Alright. Time to just leave the fucking truck idling for, you know, ever, for some reason. Because that's a thing that we do. Dr. Beaupre's clinic. That is a nice boulder. Look at that. Anybody home? Not seemingly. Oh well. I guess we'll just have to... Oh.
There should be a law forbidding doctors from falling sick.
There should be, but I don't think that's how that works. I see. So, you're just not gonna come
In
back?
spite of Dr. Beaupre's goodwill, the place didn't look much like a physician's office. It could easily be mistaken for a sewing shop.
It seems to be a little cold in here. Let's turn on the fireplace. Can I just Alright. Anything interesting? Nope. Not much there either. Oh, okay. I was standing a little too close to that. I see. Ooh.
The injured could be recognized by the large stains of red, an informal nickname given to Merbromen, smudged all over their injuries.
Merbromen. So I'm guessing that's a disinfectant that was used in the 70s a lot, and
Someone had lost a few liters of blood here. Carl's first thought had been a lumber accident, someone's hand cut by a saw, or a hunting accident. In any case, whoever had lost all this blood couldn't have gone far. Perhaps they were already dead.
Perhaps they were. Alright.
The good doctor, flanked by his beautiful spouse. Pure happiness, captured on cardstock. Carl recognized this woman's soulful eyes. Was it Dr. Beaupre who had hit him head-on at the village border?
It seems like it.
Doctors used light-reflecting frontal mirrors to look inside the patient's cavities. That was a bit unsettling. But back then, it was pretty much always the case with medicine.
Yep. Alright, let's do some breach of medical ethics and read these medical files. Unknown woman. I never did quite catch her name. The men called her Lori. She had a neck wound. There was so much blood. The bullet had done a lot of damage, probably hitting the cerebellum. Ooh, that's not good. It was hopeless. She had a cardiac arrest. The men found her like this, they said. I doubt it, but in a small town like this, it's usually best to turn a blind eye. I've been told to step back from sending out the death certificate. This whole thing sickens me. Interesting. Alright. Français. Okay, painkillers.
Dr. Beaupre had done his medical studies quite far from here. He was surely one of the first students out of the new campus to settle on the mountainside.
Surely. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of medical colleges up in rural Quebec. Okay, first aid kit. First aid kits are great. Wine rack. Indeed, that is what they said. Doctor is a history buff. Earth doesn't look as big from here. Uh-huh, sure. Yeah, we're all getting fat. It happens.
Carl got the trembles as he imagined the excruciating pain that kind of scalpel could no doubt inflict.
No doubt.
Within these miserable walls, patients probably felt more like in a slaughterhouse than in a doctor's office.
I mean, you know, it's the 70s, you're in the middle of nowhere. Your options are limited. I'm sure he was better than, like, back when the surgeon was also the barber, you know? I have a water bottle now. Alright. Oh. Attach a wire. There's a wire. What? Oh, more matches. Okay. Close.
For the one-eyed, or for other vision problems, the eye patch was the way to go.
Indeed it was. About the wire, but fire starter. Oh, I bet you this is his wife. Yep. All right. Locking a door isn't enough. Oh. Because it's completely... Alright, let's see. Okay, we got a little lean-to shelter thing here. Is this the trash pile? Ooh. Anybody on the shitter? Nope. But I got a lantern now. So that's cool. Is there so much trash, and why are there wolf tracks again? Okay. So much trash. So, let's see. Alright. Whatever. So, let's see. Journal. Hamilton's murder. Investigative hypothesis. So, reckless driver is probably Dr. Beaupre. All that's left to figure out is why. Chance. Alright, let's see. So the snow, where is it coming from? I mean, it is Quebec after all, but the weird ice is definitely weird. Everybody was running, but not all of them find a way out. The car was abandoned before a road that caved in. What happened to the passengers? So yeah, we've got this whole thing over here. Taking a shortcut through the forest. Strange wall of ice. Indeed. Alright. So. Right, okay. So then the other question is the young woman. The file seems incomplete. Who is the Cree woman and what happened to her? Points to a certain death, but no death certificate. I'm no doctor, but I know fresh blood when I see it. Yep. Bled profusely 2 days ago. Nothing weird about that, except there's probably a lot that's weird about that. Okay. So yeah. But the road is caved in and I can't really picture myself walking all these miles. I need a warm coat, guns and ammunition, proper mode of transportation, how to get rid of the big wall of ice that came out of nowhere. Strange hunt is underway in the village and the crossbow bolts left behind are disturbing to say the least. Yes, this is true. Alright. So, you know, I often write profiles of myself. Private detective, pays the bills, veteran's pension, hired to track unfaithful husbands. Excuse me. William Hamilton hired me. Had to check promises. And this is the dead guy. Rich industrialist. It says it's from Chicago, but I thought he was English. So, rich industrialist, controversial figure. Anything that isn't his in the Manastan region he wants. Buying is his only power. Complain time and again. Being persecuted. Sometimes he'll say it's the people like Amputech. Sometimes the Cree people. Some would say he deserves it. Probably. When you exploit people, the least you can do is stay away from them. Okay. We have a Wilfred Roy. Wilfred is in charge of maintaining law and order in the forest surrounding the Manastan region. He is a gamekeeper, only authority figure for several miles around. Chibougamau. Police officers must not come to the village often. Whatever they were scared of, their escape got complicated. Looks like they went through the forest. Okay. The doctor. And Mystery woman. Alright. So, I guess, let's see. I guess... I don't know. Probably go back to La Chance. Or Roy. Yeah. We're gonna go back and we're gonna see if we can find anything at Gilles' house. That's what I'm gonna say. That is my plan. And
Great care had to be taken searching this place full of oddities. Everything was important. The decor itself told a story.
indeed it did. Alright, let's get in the idling vehicle. The vehicle that always idles. And we'll play some weird music. I'm sure it's not copyrighted. Alright. Oh, there we go. Back over the bridge. And we're loaded. Alright, that's enough of that. It's a weird song. Let's see. So, methinks I should probably put gas in the truck since alright. Oh. Okay. Alright. Boss. Let's see. I would like to make sure I have gas. Or is that not necessary because I did it in the last episode? Alright, I'm gonna not worry about it then. We're gonna drive. We're gonna drive. Oh. Actually, before we get too far, I want to see if that? Wolf's done left. Is there... nothing's in that shitter. Okay. It's very important to always check the shitter. I feel like. We're gonna check on this abandoned vehicle out here, eh?
That had to be the worst parking job ever.
Yeah.
Who was Carl to judge, though? It may be customary to park like that around these parts. Or not.
Uh-huh. You know, I'm sure this was a deliberate... This is just a parking job, not a...
The punishing cold rendered the door frozen tight. Carl saw no way to open it.
You know... I betcha.
The punishing cold rendered the door frozen tight. Carl saw no way to open it.
Does Carl not know he has a... Does Carl not know...
The punishing cold rendered the door frozen tight. Carl saw no way to open it.
Does Carl not know how to use a crowbar? It seems like Carl only knows how to use a crowbar as a bludgeoning tool. And it's...
The punishing cold rendered the door frozen tight. Carl saw no way to open it.
There I go, thinking I'm smart or something. And... oh no. I don't even know. Alright. Let's drive through the shitty snow. Alright. Okay. Gonna guess this is how we get to Gilles' place. Oh, and we're loading. And we're loading. No. Car idling simulator. Okay, it's got a nice trailer, and we've got...
The crossbow bolts had the same origin. Carl was sure of it. Who was it? And more importantly, what was being hunted like this?
Also, why are the crossbow bolts on fire? Is it a zip line or is it the power line? The world may never know. Alright. Just because, you know, I'm a big proponent of the stay strapped or get clapped theory of everything.
The air was freezing, right down to the bone.
What the fuck? Alright. Yeah, we're starting a fire. That doesn't seem good. Alright. So maybe if I don't look at it too hard? Alright. you have to find a clock that works. Yeah. Interesting. So... Come on, there you are. Always need more fire starters. See what the phone does. Okay.
The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked.
Oh dear.
It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste.
Snapped. Is that what
Looks
we're
like the
calling it
holes
now?
in that puzzle are there to stay.
It does, doesn't it? More painkillers. Unpacked boxes suggest they just moved in. Looks like they were repainting. Alright. Okay. Power works. Right? Ish. Most of it works.
Carl felt a cool, tingling sensation in his back. Another vision took over him.
Oh dear. Oh dear. What are you doing?
Something was hidden under the stairs.
So it seems. And I hope that's not copyright.
The man grabbed his rifle. Carl felt a sense of dread in him.
Indeed. Alright, so he ran down here. De la chance.
Perhaps their spousal relationship had been cooling down lately.
Perhaps.
It seemed like secrecy was commonplace in this house.
It did seem like that, didn't it? Third person narrator. Giselle's
Carl
diary.
felt the cold slowly dissipate and was brought back to reality. Giselle was now only ice, and all that was left of her voice was a diary. She confided in this diary, amongst other things, the tragic story of a young woman, a victim. Was this what she was hiding?
Okay. Giselle's diary, page 1. Septembre. Mother once told me, when I first met Gilles, that I hadn't picked the brightest bulb of the lot, and as the years fly by, I'm seeing the truth in her words. Anyways, trust your mother's wisdom. Oof. That blackmailing scheme is a prime example of Gilles' brightness. He's like a small dog. He thinks he's bigger than he actually is. Small dogs are like that. He growls, genuinely thinking he's scary, but everyone knows he can be pushed aside with just a little kick. He truly believes he can blackmail Hamilton, the big boss himself. It's going to be a long time in hell before my poor Gilles can manage to pull off such a feat. After all, Hamilton's a rich, learned, and influential man. Learned and influential man. Not only is the blackmailing idea bad to begin with, let's be honest, Gilles is way out of his league. But Gilles doesn't even know how he's actually going to carry this out. I don't even think he ever would. He's just throwing random threats out loud in the kitchen. Just throwing random threats out loud in the kitchen. He says he'll do it eventually, but I know better. Successful blackmailing requires masterful cunning, and Gilles is a master of nothing. He's a slave, and forever will be. I often look at that safe he keeps hidden in the fake wall, in which he stores all those incriminating documents he intends to use, and I just can't come to grips with the sheer ridiculousness of the whole thing. Well then. Poor girl. Alright, so let's see.
It felt like old people were all these walls could see for years. The Lachances could hardly be blamed for wanting to freshen things up a bit.
Indeed.
Ah, moving. What a pleasant activity. Of course, you'll find the record player only to find the records weeks later in some random box.
That is usually how that goes. Dice and dominoes. Let's see. Anything.
Carl had seen that kind of safe before. With its double-layered security system blending letters and numbers, its code couldn't be broken by the common burglar. The general store, along with several more infrastructures in the area, had been acquired by wealthy industrialist William J. Hamilton. Perhaps the village should be rechristened Hamiltown.
Perhaps it should. Founded by Bertrand Richard chez La Chance. Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta suck. You know. Oh, here's this business I have to turn it off. But here's this business that my
What a mess.
family...
Clearly, there was some major revamping work underway here. The place looked barely habitable.
This local business your family inherits. Oh, is there a limit to the number of Polaroids I can do in this?
Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in.
Indeed.
A nice white coating would restore the room to its charm of olden days. Okay, cigarettes. Cigarettes. Beautiful portrait of Gilles and Giselle, bound together by the chains of conventional love.
Indeed. Indeed. Chains of Harlequin novels.
A nice white coating would restore the room to its charm of olden days.
Indeed it would.
Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in.
Indeed. But what he might have needed his investigative skills for is figuring out where combination for that safe would be. That is the question, is it not? BL1948.
It felt like old people were all these walls could see for years. The Lachances could hardly be blamed for wanting to freshen things up a bit.
Potatoes. Cigarettes. Betcha I'm gonna have to come back to here at some point in order to, because I don't think they're gonna let me just, find the combination to that safe here. Okay. So yeah, there she goes again. Weird blue ice. So if I walk this way, I get up to the store, don't I? Interesting. Okay, this is the Lachance's house. Got blue ice. Here's where they cut wood. Alright. It's the fiery arrow. Probably shouldn't do this right now, but show the chance. Picture young woman further north. The hunt. That's weird. Shazal. This woman only had one episode of bad luck in her life, so it's meeting Gilles Lachance. Yep. Alright, so the cold mystery. General store manager's wife, frozen. Caribou footprints. For what it's worth, Vision told me that things weren't going well between them. Hiding many things from each other deep, deep down. This woman's diary speaks volumes about which games. Everyone is running, but not all of them are finally out. Documents. Notes. Okay, so I'm just not gonna open the Ranger manual in case. In there. Giselle's diary didn't have anything, did it?
It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
Okay. So apparently I should have read that more. I don't really play these kind of games that often, so I'm not like I'm a little good at video games, but I'm not that good at video games. So I'm gonna go and warm up by the fire next to the frozen corpse. And while we're in here, I'm gonna read more Giselle's diary. Page 2. It is true that Hamilton would still have to figure out the combination of the safe where everything is hidden. Only problem is Gilles himself tends to forget the combination. He has a trick to help him remember. Father's first initial, followed by 3 numbers I had to engrave behind his pendant. Who could possibly have a hard time remembering 3 simple numbers with my shield? Trouble sleeping. Flail his arms and legs in his sleep. Told him this blackmail business would be hard on him, but that's the problem with idiots. They always think they're the smartest person. No matter how hard you try to shake them. Hamilton will find out, and then we're done for. Excuse me. He'll have to move to Val d'Or. Live with the small fry. Shaking as I write this, I cannot believe I have taken part in this tragedy. I haven't done anything. Why do I feel guilty? Poor girl, she was so young. Oh no, did they have something to do? That's interesting. Okay. So we literally have 2 pages of her diary, but that's a page more than I realized. Alright. Gilles' pendant. Gilles' pendant. Okay, I've got a steak. Cool. Alright. So, it's gonna be B. And then... where would Gilles' pendant be?
The cross looked after a marriage's well-being and served as a motivator to uphold the priest's sermons calling for more little worshippers on one hand and cautioning against guilty pleasures on the other. Indeed, the Lachances were still part of the God-fearing generation. Beautiful portrait of Gilles and Giselle, bound together by the chains of conventional love.
info.
A nice white coating would restore the room to its charm of olden days.
Alright. I'm sure this is very interesting with me just thinking to myself and, yeah, not really knowing what to do. Yeah. Alright. Well, I guess we'll just have to... go back to store, maybe we go to Bedard or Roy, or just go to one of the other houses. I think we'll probably call it a day at that. Chevrolet, because we can't, you know, say Chevrolet. Jesus. All right, let's see. Let's see what's up with Roy's house. Note from Jean Roy. Fled, it was getting too dangerous. More people live in North Manastan. It will be safer there. Interesting.
It was a classic Canadian house, except for the absent horde of kids that would normally be swarming about.
Indeed. You know, obligatory start a fire. Turn on the lights. Alright. Well, let's see. So let me just, because I can't remember shit. So Wilfred Roy is the local cop. And Jean, the day before I arrived, she and her husband left in a hurry. So Jean and Wilfred are married, I believe. Their escape got complicated. Looks like they went through the forest. So they must be who, or at least we're led to believe they're who had to run through the forest at the landslide. Alright, so, yeah. Sorry I'm not very good at like you know, keeping this interesting, and I just feel like I need to check things so very thoroughly, but I think I actually checked things thoroughly enough. I just need to go back through and review the evidence that I have. More often. But yeah. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it off for today. Yeah, this is where I'm going to leave it off. Thank you guys for watching. If you have, like, comment, subscribe. I'll try to be a little more active in the next one, try to keep moving on and progress the story more. I realize it's, you know, we're 2 hours in and we've barely figured anything out. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.